The world is a platform where we are able to use our voice to impact, influence, and make this world a better place. Whether you're here to share your ideas or you're here just to listen and be an audience, we can all take all these ideas and make the world a better place. And now let's start with the welcome address by our founder and organizer of World Speech Day Singapore, Dr. Ernest Chen. Let's give a warm
Thank you, Cindy, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much, my good friends. We are here because we want to improve ourselves. We are here because we want to change the world. We are here because we believe that we can do something. That's why we're here. I'd like to thank all of you who spend the day with us. Actually, there are 52 speakers. I don't know how many will turn out. According to my experience, we take away 20%. This is life. When they say they come, last minute, they say they cannot come. If they come, it is really wonders of the world. But never mind. However, today, I have a good news and bad news to you. The bad news is that the guest of honor, Joan Perella, last night she called me. She has very, very bad flu. She said, Ernest, doesn't matter. You give me 2.5 hours, I do a video. So she sent me the video about 10:30 p.m. Very well done. So later when I introduce her, the video will play. So she at least online to express her feeling for World Speech Day. The good news is that when there's no VIP, it's better. Less formality. We can do whatever we want, isn't it? So last night, actually, I slept quite well. I was thinking she's not around. It's all right, you know. So this is the way we go, isn't it? So when the VIP is around, a little bit of formality we have to adhere to. So thank you so much. Every year it's the same thing. I've been organizing this for 8 years. This is the 8 years really. You must ask me, why do I organize this? Actually, in 2013, Gibson. So we attended a conference, speech writing conference in Bournemouth in England. Happened that he was sitting beside me. I gave him my card, we chit chat, and then we lost touch. Then in 2015, he called me up. He said, Ernest, do you remember me? We attended a conference. I said, yes. I have an idea. We call World Speech Day. Actually, he called me in December. I said, next year, March the 15th, we're going to organize a World Speech Day. Will you support me? He called me in such an apt time. You know what? I'm sure Stanley Gono, we just finished the AG50. We organized a 50 hours of non-speech speaking before the World Speech Day. I told him about it, he got a shock. I said, 50 hours? No. That means that no stop. We stay in YMCA hotels for 2 nights continuously. So we have experience. He said, go ahead and do it, I support you. So actually, Singapore was the first city, first country to teach a World Speech Day, because according to time zone, after we finish, then you sort of now up to England to do it. At that time, it's only about 5 countries only. Now we got 100 countries. New Zealand, Australia, they have already started. Except that some technical problem with our professor here. We cannot go live streaming, right? Never mind, it doesn't really matter. Isn't it? The world cannot hear us, it doesn't matter. We hear ourselves. You think that the way we speak can change the world? Cannot, but we change ourselves. That is the important thing. Start with ourselves. However, if every country, 100 over country, 200 over city, simultaneously do something, yes, the world wake up. That is the reason that whether they do it or not, we had to do it. We'll be part of the small particles going together so that they can hear us. In fact, this guy, he has written to United Nations continuously, asking them to make World Speech Day as an important event. They're still considering. So every year, 15th of March is World Speech Day. Frankly speaking, I don't know whether I'll be around to do it for next year or not. Right? Depends on God then. If I'm around, perhaps I do it. If I'm not around, perhaps somebody can take over and do it continuously. Remember that it's a personal challenge. We do something, but everybody do together is a big thing. So I hope that you can make the speech comes alive. Whether it's right or wrong, doesn't matter. You tell yourself, I prepared it, I deliver it. So I'm so happy that all of you are here. We got coffee, tea, snacks, and later on you stay on. I already cater for the lunch, but it's not Mandarin Hotel or Carlton Hotel. It is a small cafe near here, so they can deliver to us at 12 o'clock. And stay back and enjoy the lunch, and then we continue until about 3 p.m. Thank you so much, really from the bottom of my heart. People who are here, you're my good friends. Personally, thank you. But before we end, if you can buy the book, just came to my office last night, 8:30 p.m. 420 pages. Yes, you can buy from me. It's $40 only, but it's value 4 million value for public speaking. If you want to be a public speaker, you don't read the book, don't call yourself public speaker. Don't call yourself, honestly. This is 40 years of research. I've written 7 books. This is the 8th book. Of course, this is a hard copy. I also have a hard copy. All right, have a hard copy. I think one of you have bought it already, right? Yeah, you see, he straight away, sorry, he bought it, Nick. So those who want to buy, let me know. Special price. Thank you so much. All right, back to you. The next speaker. Yeah, I forgot. Are you ready for the June Perella speech?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yes. We are going to listen to June Perella, the guest of honor, to deliver her whatever it is, opening address. All right, let's see June Perella.
So.
Is it connected to the
You know,
speaker?
in the Zoom, have you done the problem with the,
It's not a Zoom,
it's not a Zoom.
just a play on the speaker. Not that. But it will be recorded.
Actually, I could hear it from my handphone.
Just play.
Otherwise,
We'll,
it's got technical glitch. What to do?
the speaker
Live is
not
always
connected, right? Connected. Play, it will be recorded.
Maybe we can play it later.
Yeah.
Speaker is not
Good morning,
Everything is possible.
members of the Organizing Committee of World Speech Day 2024. I would have loved to join you all this morning, but I came down with a very, very bad cough, and the doctor advised me to stay at home. So I do not want to infect you all
Yes.
but I felt that it was important that I do a recording to reach out to each and every one of you. So here is my speech. Ideas for a better society. Ideas for a better society begin with me. I can bring joy to others to make the society a better place. When I listen to a resident, I do not judge. I understand the problem. When I meet a resident, I smile. When I help the resident resolve issues, I give hope. When a resident reaches out to me and needs befriending, I will be there and give the resident peace and joy. We are all brothers and sisters of this society. So let us all play our part to make this world a better place with the little acts that you and I can all do. Thank you and have a great World Speech Day event.
Thank you, Ms. Joan. And next, let's welcome the co-organizer of World Speech Day, Mr. Chin.
So. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, guests and fellow speakers. Today, as we gather here, I'm reminded of the profound words of Isaac Newton. And he famously said, if I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. So these words encapsulate the idea that our collective advancement is built upon the exchange and sharing of ideas. Throughout history, mankind has thrived on free flow of information and ideas. Spirit of cooperation and openness propel humanity forward, driving innovation, fostering understanding, and bridging cultural divides. Indeed, sharing of ideas is essential to human progress. Now, in this age of increasing polarization and division, it is all too easy to retreat into our own echo chambers and shut ourselves off from those who think differently from us. Look no further. We have conflicts and even wars going on almost everywhere. However, it is precisely in this moment and disagreement that the greatest opportunities for growth and enlightenment lie. We can gain new insights, challenge our own assumptions, and forge deeper connections by engaging in open, honest dialogue with others, even those with whom we may vehemently disagree. In bridges of understanding and empathy between people, sharing of ideas brings human progress. And finally, allow me to share the words of Albert Einstein. And he said, the value of a man resides in what he gives and not what he is capable of receiving. So today, let us give our ideas, our knowledge, our wisdom generously for the collective good of humanity and a brighter tomorrow. World Speech Day, Singapore 2024 begins now.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to be inspired?
Yes.
Are you ready to impact the world?
Yes.
Let's start with the first speaker. She wears many hats, and she's a financial advisor, money mindset coach, a trainer, and a compulsive gambler? No, a compulsive volunteer. She believes that growth happens outside the comfort zone, and she constantly challenges herself to new ideas. Welcoming Swana Kalian with a speech title, BMI. BMI, let's warmly welcome Swana Kalian.
A fabulous afternoon, a morning to the organizers, Ernest Chen and his team, fellow speakers here today. Can I ask you to stand up? I want you to do three things today. First, all I want you to do is turn around to the person next to you or behind you. Just look at the person's eye. Nothing else. Okay? Look for the person's eye. Yeah. Okay. Second, if you're comfortable, you can give a handshake. If you're not, a fist bump.
Asking for money.
And the third thing, you ask one person, how do you feel today? Thank you. Please be seated. What did we do here? Anyone? What did we do here? Connection. So today, friends, I'm here to speak about the simple art of connection. And that involves three things. First, the body. Two, the mind. And the third one is the intellect. Many of us here, we know that I can be physically present, right? But your mind can be anywhere in the world. Yes or no? Yes. Right? So the first in any connection is to have the eye contact. And when you have that eye contact, what happens is you bring that person you're seeing to the present here. And when that happens, we say the eye is the connection to the soul. You're bringing that person here. Second is when you give a fist bump or give a handshake, you're making a physical connection. And the last but not the least of it is when you ask someone, how do you feel today? What happens? What was your thought when someone says, how do you feel today?
Right now, I'm very nervous.
But what is that? It's an emotion, right? So when you connect with someone in the emotional field, when emotions are involved, you are actually causing that connection. But it doesn't end with that. She said she's feeling nervous and I moved on to my speech. What I didn't do was, Cindy, you will be all right. Thank you. Right? And that's where the listening comes. Many a times we miss this bridge of B, M, and I, and we start off with maybe a sales pitch, maybe a conversation at work, and you realize, why am I not getting the audience connection here? And many of us here who are speakers may deliver a speech because our idea is to stand here. I should finish my speech and go out. In our anxiety, we do not take the effort to connect with the audience. So friends, always, since we are talking about World Speech Day, and if we are not going to be able to connect with our audience, there is no reason to do it. There's no reason to celebrate. So next time, if you're doing this already, kudos to you. But if you have missed any of this, next time, remember to start your interaction with the eye contact, the body interaction, and of course, the emotional state as well. Because when you connect with someone on the emotional level, you are making them think. You're asking them to think at that level. How do I feel today? Her feeling was, I'm feeling stressful, right? Someone else I heard said, I'm happy, I'm elated, whatever it could be. What that is your acknowledging, but we also need to acknowledge. We have been given 2 ears and 1 mouth because we need to hear as double of what we say. The BMI ends with another S, and the S is the soul. This is a story that I heard, and I thought all of us could connect to it. It was a family traveling to a remote resort. It's their family holiday, family with husband, wife, and children traveling to a remote resort. They land in the airport around 10 something. It's dark in the night, and they have to drive at least about 45 minutes before they reach this resort on the hill. And very few taxi guys around. So one of the taxi guys volunteered to go there, said, never mind, even if it's late, I will take you there. And they sat in the taxi and they went along. He said, I think I know the way to the resort. And as they were going, he was chattering, asking them how they are, what is happening. And then he said, sir, if you need any service from us, for me tomorrow or wherever during your stay, let me know. I can take you around. So the person said, hey, how much is it? And when he gave him the amount, he said, this is how much it's going to take for taking care of you. They said, a bit too expensive. We'll think about it. Okay. And the conversation ended. But what happened was, as they were driving, they realized they probably missed the direction. They tried to call, they found their mobile network not around. And they saw a small tea shop in the corner. So the driver said, let's go and ask if they have a landline to see whether we can call the resort and see how to reach the resort. So they found the tea shop said, yes, we have connection, we can call. So they made the call. He made the call and said, I'm coming today. I'm booked and I'm stuck here. Can you tell us the direction from here? So the resort guy said, don't worry, we know where you are. Stay there. In half an hour, we will come down to pick you up. The resort vehicle will come and pick you up. And in the meantime, you stay there. Don't move because we know where you are. The person in the car, he said, thank you very much, driver. We are going to have our pickup so you can go. The driver said, no, sir, your family can sit in the car so that they feel warm. And I cannot go because even if I go back home, I will be worried whether you were picked up or not. So I will wait for the other car to come before I go. So friends, from this story, can you tell whether the taxi driver got his deal for the next few days? Yes. Why? Because he touched the soul. Now the person knows this taxi driver is not here to do business alone. He will take care of his family. He will take care of the welfare of the family. And when we do business, when we have a connection with whoever we are doing, with clients, with everyone else, we need to know, they need to know that we care for them. And that's how you touch the soul. So when we do anything, let us do with care. Let us add that extra value as speakers, and I'm sure we can reach out to many more people and influence them also to touch people at a level that nobody else makes them feel special. So while we celebrate today, thank you so much for listening, and let us all practice B, M, I, and S. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Swana. For the very second speaker, we have Miss Cindy Ong. Miss Cindy Ong describes herself as an earth enthusiast, believes that the earth is our homeland, and where we live, thrive, and grow fond memories. But I think she's so much more than that. I think she's actually a super mom, and she's part of the volunteering committee that's helping us today. Please give a big welcome to Miss Cindy Ong.
Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me? Do you realize that when the place is quiet, you start hearing your heart palpitating? I'm really nervous. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Wouldn't it be nice if life is like a bed of roses? Wouldn't it be wonderful?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. This beautiful audience. It was Valentine's Day. And I think to myself, if I receive a bouquet of red roses, what a wonderful world. So I hinted to my husband, John, lovingly, today is Valentine's Day. Buy me something red and it floats. My husband nodded his head intelligently, as if he understood my hint, and said, sure, why not? I was over the moon. I can't wait to receive that bouquet of red flowers. My mind was filled with a vision of me receiving that sweet-smelling rose. Hours later, John came back from work and he was ecstatic. That was exactly the same look that he gave when I said yes to marrying him. So he left his bag on the chair and went back to the car. So I turned around. That was his gesture. He was carrying a big box with a lovely ribbon on top. And I think to myself, are these flowers iPhone? Honey, guess what? I won this air fryer in a lucky draw. Aren't we lucky? My heart sank suddenly as like the Titanic that sank in the Atlantic Ocean. And I think to myself, what? A Valentine's Day gift is an air fryer? But But I only asked for a bouquet of red roses, and not even an outfit bag, right? Why? Why is he so stingy? Then he continued, honey, isn't this what you wanted? It's red. I thought when you see it, you bloom. And I think to myself, I see red. I really see red. It's okay. It's okay that he's stingy. At least the air fryer can be functional, right? But how can you justify that a lucky draw prize as a Valentine's Day gift? Then he said enthusiastically, you know, the organizer of the contest said, I could bring this letter to Courts Megastore and get an extended warranty for 5 years. Isn't it nice? And I think to myself, it's Valentine's Day. All I want is just a bouquet of red, fresh smelling flowers. Why? Why is he so stingy? And then, and so he, sorry, and then he, and I felt so upset. And ladies and gentlemen, would you be upset if you were me?
Yes, of course.
My dear husband, totally clueless about what happened, just left again. Then I heard a familiar song playing in the background. That was the song that when we had our first dance. He walked in with a giant bouquet of red roses. And he said, honey, I asked Mr. Google how many stocks I needed to buy in order to signify my everlasting love for you. And so I bought a maximum number of 100. These 100 roses represent my 100% of genuine love for you. Then he took out one stalk of red rose and explained, when I first met you, I knew you were the one. And one also represents love at first sight for you. I was surprised, but I felt guilt-stricken. Ladies and gentlemen, the story may have ended with a right note. But have you experienced a time where you jump into conclusions too soon and misunderstood the intention of others? We may be conjuring ideas in our head, assuming what others might be thinking about. And from one bad thought leading to another, then to another, down the rabbit hole, and we got caught in a trap. It may or may not be correct, but we are so convinced of the outcome, and we do not look into the perspective of others. Is it important to be right or wrong? If we keep on jumping to conclusions, this may lead to conflict, more mistrust, and strained relationships. Why don't we just see things as they were? See green trees as green, see red roses as red, without assuming a conclusion that might cause any misunderstanding. Today, we are all here to share ideas for a better world. I say, let's start with the world in our head. Then life can be a bed of roses. And I think to myself,
what a wonderful world.
Special credit to the songwriters, George, David Weiss, and Bob Thiel for this wonderful world song. And the speech will not be possible without my speech mentor, Dr. Ernest Chen. And above all, the creator, who created us and make this world a wonderful place. Thank you. Coming up next. Ooh, it's a lady. She believes she can improve herself in self-expression and connection with others by taking the inward journey. Let's ride along with her. Join hands with me, everyone, and welcome Dreamy Somani Shah. With the speech title, Be Your Own BFF. Be Your Own BFF.
Who is your best friend forever? Your BFF? Is it someone you've known a long time? Or someone you can trust your life with? Is it a 3 a.m. friend? Or a long distance bestie? Who is your BFF? Any answers? Any names? Your husband. Excellent. Very good morning, dear friends. BFF is a heavy title, and with a great title comes great responsibility. The responsibility of taking your friends 3 a.m. calls. Cut to 15 years ago, my BFF, Meghna, was in the US for a short stint, and I was here in Singapore. And when I received the biggest news of my life, not the TED Talk yet, but the fact that I was going to have a baby, no prizes for guessing who I wanted to share this news with. I walked out of the gynecologist's office at 2:30 p.m. with my husband in tow. Now, my husband is also my BFF, but he already knows what's the joy in sharing this news with him. So I took out my phone and wondered how much in the morning will it be in the US and where she is? Around 2 a.m. It's okay, let me try. I dialed her number, handed the bag to my husband, and waited for her to pick up. Dream, it's 2 a.m. Are you okay? Guess what? I'm going to have a baby. Serious? Wow, tell me all about it. And then we spoke for the next 2 hours while my husband was with my handbag still in the gynecologist's office. That day, I was lucky. I found a friend to speak with and share my news with. I've not always been lucky, and most of us aren't always lucky. And we may never find someone at 3 a.m. And that's when I realized I needed someone who would be always available. Growing up, I had another BFF, Sandra. And she would be my buddy for everything. I was a drama queen and I would sulk all the time, because of which most of my friends didn't want to hang around with me because I was not the cool one. I would be forever in complaining mode. So one day, Sandra comes to me and says, do you know, if you are a little more happy-go-lucky and you're happy to go with other people's choices, maybe it will be better for you to hang out with all of us? Do you really think so? Okay, maybe I'll try. And that got me thinking that this is a friend who's brutally honest with me and has my interest in her mind. But those friendships, the childhood ones, do not always follow us into our adult lives. And we rarely find someone who's brutally honest with us for our own good. So number two, I realized I needed someone who is always brutally honest. As I stepped into my work life, I had a lot of colleagues I hung out with. And my BFF in my office was Stella. We used to do all our work together, work on our pitches, and also had the same boss. Eventually, one day, I realized that the work that we did together, she went and pitched ahead as her own. And she went behind my back. She didn't have my best interest. She didn't protect me and my interests. That's when I realized point number 3, I need someone who always protects me and has my back. So with these 3 very heavy non-negotiable conditions, I set out to look for a BFF in life. The 3 conditions being always available, brutally honest, and always protecting me. I looked and looked and looked, and I found no one. Do not misunderstand me. I do have the best of friends that life can give, and friends who are very important in my own spheres. But combining all the factors in one person may be a little tricky. I may have a BFF for activity A, B, and C, but when I need everything, the answer led me inward. And today, I can say the most important relationship I've had is the one I've had with myself. So, my dear friends, you have the ability to turn inward and make yourself your best friend. Will you be your own coach and guide? Will you be your own cheerleader? Will you be your own BFF? Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Dreamy. The next speaker is an actuary in the profession and also a Toastmaster. He hopes to suggest a few tips to the audience to improve this world. My dear friends, please help me welcome Jason Chung. The speech title is Once a Month. Once a month.
Good morning, everyone. I want to make the change of the world to make it better. But I wish to have a superpower like Spider-Man, Hope, which is can save people, save the earth, save the universe, but I don't have. I also don't have as much as money as Lion Man can help a lot of people. I'm just a normal person with a family as a work commitment. But I do think that I can make the world better. Today, I would love to share my own personal story, which is I do it once a month in a few things, which is small things, but yet it's a very powerful to make my own personal growth as well as to make this world better. So first one I would like to share, which is I did is once a month, I would try to change the way the transportation I go from work. Okay, now probably after COVID, not many people will Monday to Sunday or Monday working day, every day work from home. They may have to still commute to their workplace or to the school. So people may sometimes take bus or take MRT as their daily routine or drive. So I suggest, which is what I did also, is once a month, I will change the mode of the transportation. So if, for example, if you take bus every day as a routine, can take MRT. If you say your way to work only can take bus, I suggest maybe one stop earlier than you alight. Why is it so? Because I found that if you sometimes make changes, is not drastic. It's sometimes just a small change will make you see things very differently and give you very perspective. So this morning I didn't drive because quite difficult to find parking. I take the transportation, I take the MRT and then change bus. I realized that recently Singapore make a lot of good contribution on the MRT. Now so many lines. There's new Thomson line, which is I never take it. I take it this morning. Then I will find I can, and also I come around 8 something. It's quite crowded. I'm just fans that sometimes I don't need to go so powder. But it gave me a lot of thought and also thinking and idea or to say things very differently. Probably if you find you're busy at work, maybe just do once a month will be good. So that's the first thing I did. And I normally after these small changes, I will have a lot of new idea after this. Secondly, it's about your eating habit. I have to declare that I'm a meat lover. I like to eat all kinds of good food, delicious of the meat, seafood and things. And I know that after 40s, I need to eat a little bit healthy. But said easier than done. So what I do probably about 8 years ago, I tried to commit myself to become a vegetarian once a month. So I choose the first day of the lunar month to be a vegetarian. First few times is really, really tough. The day when it comes, I feel the morale very down because I cannot eat food. I mean, I can eat food, but I cannot eat the food I want. I feel very stressed, depressed, and things. But after a while, I get used to it, and also slightly change my habit. Is when I go to the restaurant, I will try to appreciate the vegetarian food, and then I will order something totally different from my rest of the month, and I try to taste it. And subsequently, I also find particularly some good vegetarian restaurant, which is I never will find it in the past. Also, one good thing I do is I have many vegetarian friends. I will choose the day to have the meal with them, to connect with them, so that we can have some common topic. And recent 2-3 years, I realized one development, which is I also never come across, is called the plant-based meat, which is also very delicious. So what I'm trying to say here is, sometimes you take many things for granted, but you just have some slight change or some slight step, it will make you from very different perspective. And also one thing I want to highlight is eating vegetarian not only have a good, give you a better health, but also can save the earth the energy. Just keep, 100 grams of the veggie need the energy compare with the 100 grams of the meat actually is very different compared with the world consumption. There's something called the water footprint. Water footprint. That means just some what figure to you. 100 grams of veggie may take around maybe 100 liters of the water to grow this veggie. But if you, let's say you need to have the 100 grams of the beef, you need probably 10 times more on the water and the earth energy in order to have it. But once you eat it, it's the same. And even worse, let's say, okay, maybe you don't eat. Of course, to me, it's 100 grams of a lion or tiger meat. If you even need probably 1,000 times of the veggie, you know why? Because the cow eat the grasses and the lion eat the cow. So it's the top of the food chain actually consume much more energy. So if you eat a bit less meat, just probably once a month, you can save the earth a lot of clean energy and clean water. So that's the second thing I would like to share. The third one, which is I would say called giving back to society. What does it mean? I'm quite blessed. I'm quite grateful that along the years I have been enjoyed from the society, both Hong Kong and Singapore, a lot from different people from the society, how we bring it up to what I am today. And also this is the reason why I joined the World Speech Share as well. I will have the wish and also commitment, want to give it back to the society. People may think that, have the volunteer or giving back to society, need a lot of money or need full-time. Actually, no need. As long as you can think about or commit, you just do it once a month, you'll do. Maybe probably I share with you last 3 months what I did. 3 months ago, I bring my 2 sons to the beach to pick the rubbish. So what I did is 3 things. One is the rubbish bag, one is the glove, one is the faucet, which is I walk along the East Coast Park, probably around 2-3 hours, go along the beach and then they pick. You will be amazed. You can fill up the rubbish bin when the rubbish you pick it up. And I was quite amazed and impressed that along the way, a lot of people they will also comment us, oh, wow, very good thing. What's your organization? I say, no, I just voluntary, and you know, December was the school holiday. We don't have much thing to do. Then we just pick this up, and then we just do this. And along the way, you will be amazed that I can clean a lot of the rubbish. And at the same time, after the function or this trip, my son write a diary, and subsequently he present to the teacher, and then he get a very good grade from the teacher about what I have done on that. And also we impress other people along the journey. So this is just a very small thing and doesn't cost much money, and it's quite meaningful. We can do probably once a month. 2 months ago, I do this so-called soup kitchen. I think there's quite a few. If you want no more detail, you can ask me. Basically, it's I would say a trap, but they need a lot of helper. What they require is basically there's a few things you can do. You can help to prepare or cook, not cook, prepare the food or cut the veggie, and then prepare. Then also there's a certain kind of volunteer you can pack the things, and then also there's another type of volunteer you can deliver to the leader. So what they will be quite dedicated is that different role you have to fill it up, and then they will open 365 days. I mean, every day, including holiday, including Sunday, everyone. If you have some time, maybe once a month, you can do it. Then it will be great to help the people. They may have certain amount of money, but they need a lot of manpower to help. If you can help, it will be good. So that's probably the segment. Last month, what I did is follow the company. There's some voluntary work. What I did is I just a helper to help the elderly home to take them from the elderly house and then to attend a concert. What I try to do is I just escort them from the coach to the venue, probably around 500 meters. But I take 1 hour for those elderly may have some difficulty in movement, but I try to help them. The thing is that I learned is that actually a lot of time, let's say we walk from here from the MRT, we found that is very easy. But you know, there were people L&O or some disability, they may need a lot of different add on that. And sometimes we don't realize. But with doing this, I also give me very different view that we should take, when you do things for granted, there's a lot of people in this world may not think in this way. So all in all, what I'm trying to share today is some of my own personal habit, which is I do once a month, try to make myself as this work better. I found that myself one maybe very little compared to this but if today everyone here, you can think of a few small steps you can do to make the world change. Collectively, I would say it's very, very powerful. So hope I can give you some value add in this speech and enjoy the day. Thank you.
Once per month.
Yeah.
I tell my wife once per month.
I also realized that being vegetarian can save some money. I introduced vegetarian meals to my mother-in-law, and she lost weight. And she said I could wear clothes that I have hidden in the wardrobe for 10 years. What a beautiful world, right? And the next speaker is a business consultant who has been in Singapore for 30 years. After contributing to the corporate world, she just wants to contribute to the youth and the community. She believes that successful economy is built on a healthy society. So her purpose is to help a healthy society with healthy individuals. Today, she will tell us about her experience of being a better human being. Let us welcome Anjali Grover. And her speech title is, I am done. I am done.
It It was 2 a.m. in the morning by the time we got back to the hotel. Tina was too drunk to walk. I barely managed to take her to the hotel room. The moment I opened the door, she dashed to the bathroom. I ran after her and I saw her crumpled over the toilet bowl, throwing up violently, and her long hair soaking in the bowl. I was disgusted by the vomit on the floor, and the smell was horrible. I wanted to get away, but holding my breath, I pull her hair with one hand from the bowl and hold her with the other and take her to the wash basin as she wobbles towards it. Then I walk her to the bed and lay her down. As soon as I turn around to remove my shoes, she springs up for round 2. And we repeat the whole cycle again. After the second round, she goes to sleep instantly. And I stay awake for another 2 hours, checking if she was breathing all right. This, my friends, was my 4th day with Tina. The previous 3 nights, she behaved more or less the same way, smoking, drinking, coming back late at the night. And because we were sharing a room together, I could barely get any sleep. I'm never going to share a room with her. I am done. For the rest of the trip, I made sure that I let her know I'm upset and I am done with her. Next day morning, I wake up and I speak to her. Tina, what was that behavior last night? You could have slipped and hit your head. And you know what she says? You think too much, Anjali. Nothing is going to happen to me. Just chill. What? No gratitude, no thank you, no apology. What an ungrateful, selfish, irresponsible woman. I am done. 2 weeks later, back in Singapore, I meet a common friend. She had heard all about our trip to Bali for the music festival, and she also you know what? We've all been there. This is the ticket to be her friend. Yes, I was not amused. But then what she said really surprised me. It is so sad to see Tina like that. On one hand, she has the most beautiful family, 2 lovely girls, loving husband, money, and then on the other, what do you mean on the other? What's going on? Oh, you don't know? She has a son from the first marriage. Her husband has taken full custody of the son. She hasn't seen him for 2 years. And apparently, he is not doing well. What? Oh my God. Imagine Tina looking at her beautiful daughters and being reminded of her son all the time. Is that the reason why she drinks herself to madness? So that she can forget her reality for a few moments? And I judged her based on her behavior and concluded all kinds of things about her character. Oh my God. And then it struck me, I have been in Tina's shoes. A few years ago, I needed emotional support because I was going through a very rough patch. My friend did not come to help me. Why? Because she looked at my appearances and I seemed to be in control and behaving as if nothing has happened. She did not try to find out what could be going on. And it hurted me so bad. And now
I am doing the same thing to someone else? Friends, have you ever felt judged by someone or judged someone else unknowingly? It is very easy. We do that. And in doing so, we hurt people we love the most and risk relationships that are important to us. Instead, why don't we hold our judgment and try to find out what could be going on underneath that abnormal or strange behavior? Or why don't we give the other person the benefit of the doubt that they may be going through something and not make any assumptions? After realizing what Tina's underlying struggles were, I decided to do something. I called her. Hi, Tina, how are you doing? Have you recovered from the trip? I am still swaying with the music in my head. Tina replied in a very sheepish voice, as if she was a culprit in a witness box. Yeah, I'm swaying too. Do you remember how the two of us danced for the entire time and no one else got up when that band was playing? Yeah, I remember. Do you remember how you started to sing with that solo musician on the street and everybody gathered around us? Yeah, that was fun. And do you remember the sunrise music event? It was so enchanting, so beautiful to see the sunrise behind the musicians playing. Yeah, that was beautiful. And I saw Tina's voice perk up. And that's when I knew that she knew that I still loved her, that I was not done with her. 3 months have passed since our trip. We are more or less friends again, except for one thing, and that is, I'm still not going to share a room with her. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rosa. The next speaker, we have Mr. Edward Wong. Mr. Edward Wong is the president of the Specialists in Wellness Association in Singapore, and he's going to talk about live life to the fullest every single day. Let's welcome Mr. Edward.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. First of all, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say thank you to Ernest for allowing me this platform, World Speech Day platform, to share my thought about people like me. As senior citizen, the Straits Times reported on the 4th of March that nearly 1 in 5 Singaporean is a senior citizen, and 1 in 4 citizens will be a senior by 2030. Mankind has succeeded in our pursuit of longevity. Over the last century, the average life expectancy has increased from below 60 to over 80 years. 20 more years have been added to our life. So, what are you going to do about it? Some of my friends have retired in their early 60s and are enjoying their retirement, spending time with grandchildren, watching television the whole day, meeting friends frequently, and taking long vacations. I also have friends who continue to work past 70. Although they work shorter hours, they continue to contribute their knowledge and skills to businesses and communities. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be familiar with mental and physical wellness and how this can enhance the quality of life, especially for seniors, those over 65 years old. Health experts have urged seniors to be physically active, learn new skills, give to or help others, and stay in touch to remain mentally and physically healthy. I'm mindful, of course, that we all have our own lifestyle and retirement plans, but plans can change. I give you an example of a friend, Albert. He wanted to lay back and enjoy life after retirement. He did that for 1 year, but gradually became so discontented and restless with his life that he decided to return to his employer to work full-time. Of course, you may be different, but can I ask you a question? Are you happy to give up your knowledge and skills forever? Or will you be happier to share your wisdom and experience with your community? The United Nations projected that the population of senior citizens will exceed 1 billion by 2030 and 1.6 billion by 2050. How can this increasing numbers of senior citizens be supported if they are all non-productive? Seniors can contribute in different ways. Let me humbly share my personal experience as a senior citizen. I'm 73 years old. I retired as managing director of a wellness company at 65. Since then, I have been supporting businesses as a certified management consultant, mentoring younger managers. I continue to contribute to the wellness industry as president of the Specialists in Wellness Association, Singapore. It is an elected position, something I have continued for 8 years. I am active, volunteering in various community groups and organizations, including an elder care center. It's funny. Many clients of the elder care center is younger than I am. I continue to study and share my experience twice a week as an associate lecturer at the Republic Polytechnic. I'm the oldest employee there. You may say I'm young at heart because I wake up feeling young and energetic every day, looking forward to my activities. I exercise and cycle twice a week and then have a hearty breakfast. I enjoy my retirement. To my senior friends, if you have the capacity, experience, knowledge, and skills to contribute, you may find joy and many benefits like I do. For example, vitality from an energized mind and body. Elation when you rekindle life experiences, sharing your best memories. And satisfaction from reaffirming your skills and knowledge when you mentor others. Join me to enjoy life to its absolute fullest every single day. Those-
The next speaker has 26 years experience in the market research and healthcare sectors. She's currently on a break and busy managing her finances, her family, whilst having some fun. So Cindy Chopio, she's going to talk about, there's so many issues plaguing the world today that most people may get lost in what is most critical. They would like to prioritize to help make the world a better place. I present to you Anita Nair, our next speaker.
Good morning, everybody. All the children of Mother Earth. When I got to know that we're having a speech, a World Speech Day, and the topic is how to make the world a better place, I was not sure whether I wanted to be here. Two things. One was a simpler one and easy to solve. What do I wear? Well, I wore my blue dress and it represents the dominant color of Mother Earth, blue. The other question was a little more difficult. Where do I start? And the reason for that is twofold in my eyes. There are 9 billion people on planet Earth, about 2 billion families. The question I asked was, how can I or my family make any impact on Mother Earth? The second issue was, well, there are so many big global challenges people are facing today, right from climate change, social injustice, war, inequality, poverty. The list is endless. Where do I start? And well, I took the decision of starting by being here today and sharing with you my perspective on this topic. I would like to share 2 simple stories of my life and how it influenced me. I grew up in the lovely and vibrant India, rich in its cultural heritage, but not the cleanest. I, however, had full control over my room. I would never throw anything on the floor. My room was spick and span always. One day, as I was sitting in the balcony, looking at the kids play and munching on a candy, I had this small wrapper of the candy in my tiny little hands, and I just threw it outside the balcony. Just to think, her mother was there, sitting and sipping her tea, and in her soft, sweet voice, she told me, Anita, was that the right thing to do, to dump your trash? Would you do that in your room? I looked at her and said, no! She continued gazing at me and said, then why would you dump something in Mother Nature's room, Mother Earth's room, your surrounding? That left a big mark on my mind and my heart. From that day onwards, I ensured that I did not throw any trash or litter anywhere. In fact, as a child, when there were public places where people threw things, I would go around picking them and throwing it in the dustbin. So you may wonder, what was the message in the story? It is the power of one woman, my mother, who made that change in my heart. Coming back to the next story,
So I grew up with this thing of not littering the surroundings. I tried to lead by examples, joined various communities and did my bit. Influenced my friends, my family, and when I had kids, influenced them as well. So as life went on, when we were busy with our usual routines, and one day, as part of my monthly shopping, I usually go with my little one. I went to the supermarket and I did a lot of shopping, which is the usual stuff that people do, and I had about 10 plastic bags in my hand. And my daughter looked at me and said, "Mom, do we need to buy all those plastic packets?" I did feel guilty, and I looked at her and said, "Yeah, but I kind of was in a hurry and this is so convenient." And she looked at me and said, "Mom, but don't you think we need to protect planet Earth for all the animals and all the human beings, and even you and me who live here?" I was like, whoa, where did that come from? I was like overwhelmed and so happy that she said that to me. I just stepped down and hugged her tight and said, "You are right, sweetie. I will make that change." And then, life and its busy schedules, I just ran into some other thing and I just forgot about it. But she did. And then the next monthly shopping experience happened. She goes back with me. And this time she had a new small backpack on her back. So I thought, oh, she must be just showing off her new backpack. So we went to the shopping, and as we finished our shopping and we were at the counter, it struck me, oh, I should have got the plastic bags, the reusable plastic bags. And the moment I was paying the bill and we were kind of putting the things in the packet, my daughter said, "No bags, please." And while she was doing that, she removed all the cloth bags that she'd collected and kept in her small backpack. I was so impressed. I felt regret in my mind that I did not take concrete actions for what she had told me. And I was so proud of what she was doing. She was leading by example. She continues to champion various causes in her school related to deforestation, climate change, and I'm so proud. Because of her, she got a change in me. Today, you have those small reusable plastic bags. I always have them in my bag wherever I go. So friends, we have seen in history there have been so many great individuals. Mahatma Gandhi, who fought for non-violence to get freedom. It was a one man, a small voice, who created a movement. Malala, she fought for the right of education for females worldwide. Again, a small voice. If all those and many other great individuals would have thought, where do I start? We would have never been in a better world. So friends, let me tell you, you have the power. You have the power to influence people around you. You have the power to shape the world to a better and a brighter future for our future generations. Next time, don't think, where do I start? Start with you. Over to you.
The next speaker, we have a lady who holds multiple hats. She is a teacher, a nurse, a maid, cleaner, a CFO, and a chef. So who's something so amazing like a single mom? She was having 2 kids. Her interests include frolicking in the nature, sharing knowledge, astrology, and life coaching. For next speaker, let us welcome Ms. Soy Senda. The speech title will be Free and Happy Kids for a Better World.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Today I'm very happy and very grateful for having a chance to share my personal journey that has shaped my perspective on life, pursuit of happiness, and profound impact that we can have for our children, our next generations. My name is Susanna, born in Myanmar, where my parents ran a modest restaurant featuring liquor and Chinese cuisine. Rather than helping my parents to run the restaurant, my academic
So led me to run and IT degree, honor IT degree in IT. Yet my journey to an expert turn when I was looking for a job in IT industry. It was during an interview with a IT Japanese company that the moment was crystallized. The inquiry about my future overseas plan marked a pivotal moment. My affirmative response to the inquiry led the rejection of my job application because they worried that I would leave the company after working with them for a short while. I think it's fair enough. And deterred, I made a courageous decision to venture to Singapore with much resistance from my parents. To cut the story short, after overcoming so many obstacles, finally I landed in a city characterized by its cleanliness, breathtaking architecture, and effective organization. This newfound environment ignited a spark within me, a spark fueled by a mixture of fear and excitement at the same time. My experience in Singapore extended beyond my academics, delving into my workforce and exposing me to a culture that is vastly different from my upbringing in Myanmar. I witnessed Singaporean youth, confidence, and free spirit. A stark contrast where I grew up in. Reflecting on my childhood, when questioning was discouraged, opinions were kept silent, and conformity was encouraged. I yearned for a different path. This realization struck me. What if all the children in the world were nurtured at the same confidence, encouragement, and freedom as the youth in Singapore? This question lingered in my mind as I observed the challenges of children in Singapore, overwhelming the academic pressures, leading into heartbreaking stories, and even tragically suicide. Parents too struggle with stress, for supporting their family, resulting in domestic violence and challenges. What is life? I ask myself, what is the purpose of our existence in this world? What if our journey on this Mother Earth is meant for more than achieving good grades and suicidal expectations? It is very clear that a fulfilling life is far more beyond than constant fighting for the survival. I argue that the traditional masculine traits have diminished in this modern era. Fortunately, more and more parents are aware that the importance of nurturing their children instead of imposing that predetermined path upon them. However, the need for greater awareness persisted. With a vision of a world where we parents spend quality time with our children by nurturing them, sharing love, and fostering them with a kindness. With current reality of many families, both parents work, leave their children to help us. Painted a picture of very limited time together. The narrative of home becoming mere places for sleep, walk, and quick dinner has left me contemplating the value of genuine familiar connection. A clear image for parents to balance work and family life, ensuring that giving the quality time to our children, really listening to them, be present with them both physically and emotionally. As our society grapple with the consequences of such choices, I advocate for awakening a collective realization that our meaningful life transcends the robotic cycle of sleep, work, and fleeting getaways. It requires the collective commitments of individuals, communities, and nations alike. To build a better world, what if our children laughter become the soundtrack of our shared success and prosperity? From here, I want to invite each of us to join hands in this noble cause of championing our children to be free and happy. And let us work passionately towards a better world with our children, our free and happy children, illuminates our path to a better tomorrow.
This is the first time she's delivering a full speech in English. Wow! I said if you can. You said you finish it. In life, nothing is impossible if you put your heart and soul into it. Right? Possible, isn't it? Come. Feeling happy, right?
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
good. Right, that's why you must put in some work, right? Practice. That's it.
Are we feeling okay? Are we all still here?
Yes.
Thank you for your patience. We had to do a little bit of reshuffling. The next speaker is a copywriter and English